I used to teach at British universities, and I spent years and years using Turnitin and other plagiarism checkers. And I'm so frustrated with them at the moment. And I'm going to show you what the problems we have with them right now. And also, I'm going to show you what other potential solutions for you. So, as an example, I'm going to use text from my own paper. This is on nature.com, paper from 2011. And I'm just going to copy this text, and then I'm going to check the plagiarism checkers on Google, just whatever is suggested here. So the first one is plagiarismchecker.ai, and it gives me 78% exact match score. But look, it is actually using the correct source. So if it has access to this website, it should say 100% plagiarized, this exact match. So this tells me this is not working. There is something very, very wrong with this. I don't get how it could recognize this text as plagiarized, but not these few words here and there. I wouldn't use that. Then you have Grammarly.com, no plagiarism found. Go figure. Then we have PaperOwl. That's something you really need to pay attention to because it says 96.4% plagiarized. And it has the exact source. So why 96.4%? That is because I made some minor tweaks. So this should have been here protein-protein interactions. And this kilodaltons here, the D should have been capital. So you make the tiniest changes, and that confuses PaperOwl, and it makes it think that the text is original. Trust me, Turnitin doesn't work like this. Turnitin will just flag everything as 100% plagiarized. So all in all, you can't use that because even if you unconsciously, copy text with minor tweaks, PaperOwl will tell you there's no problem. Turnitin will 100% tell you there is a problem. So you can't use that. Then we have QuillBot, didn't work for me at all. And we have ChatGPT 5.2 plagiarism checkers. And it says direct plagiarism not evident. Well, it doesn't work, does it? So the solution I have for you is a two-part solution. First of all, go back to your professor and ask them what it is that they're looking for in a plagiarism report. So when they use Turnitin or whatever software they use, they will get a plagiarism report back with all the text in your report highlighted as similar, highly similar, exact match or original. And trust me, to me, when I used to do this job, it didn't matter whether it was 30% plagiarized or 5% plagiarized. What matters is what type of text is plagiarized. So, for example, your references in text and bibliography will always get highlighted as 100% exact match because there is someone out there who also cited these papers using the same formatting style. Then when it comes to your methods, they often get highlighted as well because these are very specific short sentences usually. So let's say you're trying to say how you made a saline. Well, you added salt to water, you added water to salt. Do you see what I mean? Very short sentences with very limited number of ways how you can structure them, how you can write them. Always gets highlighted, I never cared. And then you have headings and subheadings, exactly the same problem. If I look at the report, 30% is plagiarized, but it is all references, methods, and subheadings that I am really not bothered. But for example, if I get a 5% plagiarized score, and it is, a block of text in the body of the document that is all highlighted as highly similar, and it is all highly similar to the same source, then I know that this was plagiarized with some teeny tiny tweaks, and I'm going to act on this. So you need to know what it is that your professor is looking for in a plagiarism report. So go and speak to them. And then once you have this answer, ask them whether you can use Turnitin or whatever they use for a mock submission of your document so you can get that report for yourself and check if everything is all right. And more likely than not, they will have a license to do this and they will let you do it once or twice, right? You'll get the report, you don't have to spend any money, and you will know exactly if you have some issues with the text or not. If they don't have a license, they don't let you do that, that is still okay because you know what it is that we are looking for, and then you can go to duplichecker.com. So this is the only software right now that I would recommend to you to use if you're not using Turnitin. And that is because it gave me 100% plagiarism score. It used one source, which is the correct source where I got all of this text from. And even though I made some teeny tiny tweaks to the text, so I removed hyphens and whatnot, it still tells me this is 100% exact match, which is exactly what I wanted to see. So all in all, speak to your professor and then use either Turnitin or Dupli Checker. But remember one thing, always keep multiple copies of your document with timestamps so you can show the progression of your work. Because these things also check for AI written text. And AI written text is nothing but a very, very well written human text. So if you write very well, with no mistakes, consistently, very nice sentences, then AI will probably flag this as AI written, right? Just because you write so well, you might be as well an AI. So the only way to protect yourself from that is to keep multiple copies of your text with timestamps to show that, well, this is what my document looked like a month ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and well, this is what it looks like now. So you can see that I clearly worked on this and I honed the text. So keep multiple copies of your document throughout the time, speak to your professor, and I'm sure you'll be just fine.